thanks. How are you? Adam. Sorry. Adam Ma is Adam Ma. Thank you. Adam.
To the clock. That's not intuitive at all. Sweet, so when I want to start it, do I just literally click that play button? Yeah. Okay. Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to Valentine Sports Park for round 13 action of the Futsal New South Wales Premier League in the men's division. The minor premiers, Mountain Majik, up against UTS Northside, who are currently in 6th, but with victory here today could jump as high as 3rd on the ladder. So a final spot up for grabs. Mountain Majik can't possibly finish lower than 1st. They're already 7 points clear at the top of the table. So this is more about them building in towards that final series. They don't require points. UTS, though, essentially must win here. It would still, in theory, be a case of second chance saloon next week for them, but I certainly would not want to leave it up to the final week of competition. Great to have your company here this afternoon. My name is James Preston. Mountain Majik, of course, the home side here, captained by Jordan Guerrero. And on the other side for UTS, they are captained by Nathan Amore. Final checks here. About to get underway for this first half. And underway. UTS Northside with first use of possession. Work it around this left-hand side of the court with Rainbird. And linking up now with Whaley. Back to Rainbird. Amore under pressure from Dib. Now looking to clear their lines. Whaley making a good run. Oh, and then nearly on target. It was Hall Gibson who got away from both Haddad and Guerrero. And we're just having a little conversation there as to whose man is whose. Now Guerrero up along the sideline. Linking up with Jaden Dunn. Back to Dib. Now Haddad looking for that infamous twist turn shot. Hall Gibson finding support out wide, but Whaley couldn't link up with him. Now Amore. Rainbird presents as an option on this left-hand side. Deeper still they go, and now lovely run made here by Hall Gibson, but Dib was waiting for him. Shut down the space very quickly and dispossessed. Our lead referee, Andrew Best, assisted by Adam Ma and Rowan Fisher, and our timekeeper is George Krikados. Dunn was making the run there, but Guerrero couldn't find him. It was touched as it was delivered, so they'll still get the opportunity from the sideline here. Haddad certainly can strike from this range. There's the touch, no initial shot. Haddad rolling it, full putting boot to ball. So no work to do as of yet for Farrier in between the posts. We'll restart things now with a little drop off here for Rainbird. Hall Gibson. Now Amore. Rainbird up against Dunn. Dunn does a great job. He's come away with possession. Dibb also jamming in. And then I believe Rainbird hitting the deck and his head making contact with the court. So that's why there's some concern there from Jamie Dibb. Incidental. But of course, having already lost their own keeper in the form of Nicholas Brackenrigg to a similar issue on Thursday against the Mascot Vipers in that catch-up match, the Mountain Magic players would be acutely aware of any sort of head knocks. So good to see that sportsmanship coming out nice and early. As Grant Lynch, the veteran, the coach of this side, enters the action now. Lynch simply chipping over the top. That one manages to avoid the netting above the court. We've had around about 90 seconds of play so far. Dibb. Now Guerrero. Up with Dibb again. Haddad was initially looking for that little flick on. Didn't quite get it right, but got a second bite of the cherry. Then trying to thread the needle. Blocked there by Lynch. Guerrero and Dibb combining the two futsalroos. Now Guerrero finds a good pass for Dunn, who is steaming in for it. And Faria knocked there by Jaden Dunn and just opting for a bit of caution. Eventually back to his feet, good to continue. Whaley, Lynch. Morey with a check on this left-hand side before returning as an option. Not a great delivery from Lynch as a result. Dunn comes up with it. Guerrero, quick release back to the middle. And nearly a chance to strike once again. Haddad, Guerrero on target. Knocked away by Faria. Done. Deep now for Dibb. Haddad. Nice control here from Dibb, linking up with Dunn. Shuffles the pass down the sideline for Haddad. On target, and now Faria will start to run. Chips it ahead. Looking for Hall Gibson. Dispossessed by Guerrero. Oh, and then a very risky pass from Dibb. Somehow not picked off. Dunn. Carting it forward. Strong in the challenge was Amore. And that will force Mountain Magic to clear their lines. Coming into this contest off the back of two straight draws. The past month or so has been a little bit patchier for Mountain Magic in an otherwise perfect season up until that loss around about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Paul Gibson once again threatening, linking up out wide. Now a shot on target. Oh, it's more than on target. It's the postage stamp for Perez. What a strike that was. Quite literally, he's been on the field for about 5 seconds. And in it goes. UTS Northside set the standard early on. So we've had around about 3 minutes of play. And it's a great way to begin for UTS Northside. Really their first chance. And they've delivered it into the top corner. So 1-0. So now Rainbird. Perez. Rosello out there now in 97. Picked off from Dibb. And Haddad. Guerrero. Strafing, looking for an opportunity. Dispossessed. A little rattled here at the moment, Mountain Magic. And for Pires, there's an issue here. Andrew Best will have a word with him. Just a warning at this point. Not quite sure what that's for. It might have been the earlier slide on Haddad, but if that was the case, then surely you called the foul at the time. Andrew Best, however, saying that is your one and only warning. Next one will result in a card. Guerrero. One foul apiece thus far. Guerrero takes off. Now for Dibb. Then finds Haddad. Rainbird ushering that one over the sideline. Magic still building pressure here, and they have had the better of the running so far, despite the fact that they're down 1-0. Done. Quick release back here for Dibb. Now Haddad. Couldn't get control on that one. And we'll come to the sideline. So mash changes here for Mountain Magic. All but Jamie Dibb departing. Robson D'Souza back out there. Pakopolos into the action as well, along with William Kunas. Now Rosello. Pires. Chipping over the top. Rosello trying to use his speed. And cleared away by Katambas. This time playing deep to Lynch. Rainbird with an open passage. Oh, geez, that was dangerous for Mountain Magic. Nobody providing any pressure whatsoever. Pakopolos. Trying to flick through the middle. Didn't quite come off well. And now a great shot on target. Good save from Katambas. Handball then called. UTS essentially playing for their season in this one, and they've certainly turned up inside the first 5 minutes. Mountain Magic probably had the better of the territory thus far, but haven't really made much count. No real chances despite the weight of possession. Dibb under pressure, jamming in was Pires, and will win possession. So they'll restart this one from the sideline. Deep now for Rainbird. Quick release. Rosello, Rainbird was initially making the run, then pulled away from it. Now Dibb trying to thread the needle. Rainbird comes away with the ball though. Flicks it back to Lynch, and now a quick release there from Rosello. Pires trying to find an opening. Pakopolos dispossessed, and now Lanch comes up with it. Lynch looking for a little ball. Trying to squeeze it to Rosello, but couldn't quite do so. If you are just joining us, it is 1-0 to UTS Northside. Slight issue with that scoreboard at the moment, reflecting Mountain Magic in front, but well and truly it is UTS. Rainbird, Pires. Amore back out there once again. Taking on Pakopolos, sends it wide, another chance, this time the side netting. Pakopolos really flirting with danger there. Quick release though from Katambas, and now Kunas can carry. Dibb took a little too long to get that one away. As a result, caught there by two defenders. Dibb eventually links up with D'Souza. No support for D'Souza though. And take off down that left-hand side. It's relentless pressure defensively at the moment from UTS. Back into the action is Hall Gibson. Now Amore. Faria. taking off, and we'll get up over halfway now. Rainbird. Amore. Rainbird linking up with Faria. Lovely first touch. Finds Amore, then sending it across the face of goal. It's still a chance. The player's made contact with the post and now cleared away by Mountain Magic. Bakopoulos somehow keeps it in the field of play. Terrific skill from Bakopoulos. Now D'Souza. Threatening. Gets the shot away on target. Parried by Faria. And then cleared away through the legs of Bakopoulos. And as a result, they'll get the ball once more. So a tremendous start here from the team in sixth, up against the minor premiers. Oh, great skill from Rainbird to beat Dib. Still going, now finds Hall Gibson. Not on his preferred side and couldn't generate the power or accuracy with that attempted finish. So Papadakis out there now for his first taste of the action. Guerrero returning for a second stint. Quick release from Guerrero out to Papadakis. UTS holding up for an eternity here through Lynch. Guerrero arrives to apply some pressure. Now a chance once again here for Hall Gibson. Not too far away. It was touched in its journey, and that will go for a corner. Lynch as a direct option. Guerrero steps in the way of the pass. Now carting it forward. Space shut down by Amore. Souza has that shot blocked. Lynch. Oh, and it was building again for Hall Gibson, who's got himself into some nice positions so far in this game, but unable to come up with that clinical touch at the right time thus far. Now Guerrero for Dunn, also back out there now, as is Haddad. So just a short stint for D'Souza. Guerrero, first release well and truly off the mark. Lynch and Rainbird, and now for the sole goal scorer in this match so far, Perez. Amore taking on Dunn under pressure, and ultimately Dunn wins out. Papadakis now for Guerrero. Threading the needle, finds Haddad. Back to Guerrero, chance for the strike. Lovely ball for Dunn. Good save from Faria. Deep now for Haddad on target. Plenty of speed on that shot. Tough for Faria to deal with, but turned it away. Corner to come. Once again, Haddad is a deep option. Quick release now for Guerrero. Guerrero on target. Faria with plenty of saves to start this match. An attempted clearance, of course, hitting the roof, and as a result, back to the sideline it goes. Now Haddad cutting back on the inside of Perez. Out for Dunn. Dunn dancing. Got through the first line. Now chipped over the top from Perez. That was clever. And then Guerrero, professionally dealt with, slides across and puts it into touch. Rosello back out there. Faria on a journey up over halfway. Now receives it. Quick release, a nice one too. Looking to thread the needle, and they certainly will. Rosello just back onto the pitch. Finds a lovely pass into the path of Perez. And Jesse has a double. 2 goals now for Jesse Perez. So done for Guerrero. And now a breakaway here from Rosello. Looking for a third. Lynch can't quite find it. Guerrero not happy with the support that is being provided at the back at the moment. Now Haddad taking off or tries to thread the needle. Nearly found the run of Papadakis. Perez restarting things for Ria now. On the carry. Tried to link up with Lynch. And pass was there to be taken. Lynch just couldn't quite get proper control on it though. Took a slight deflection off the boot of Mountain Magic. Now Lynch playing deep for Rainbird, who can strike it from distance. Back to Rainbird again. Lynch flicking on. It was a little bit lazy into the path of Guerrero. Papadakis got the shot away, and now Haddad. Does he think about the long-range effort? Instead, he goes to Guerrero. Easily dealt with by Rosello. Now Guerrero. Papadakis with the shot. Deflected. And will run a very long way along the sideline and never actually cross that threshold. Now Dunn beats the first man. Haddad. Back for Dunn. Does a great job to keep that in the field of play. Back to Guerrero, who takes them on down that left-hand channel. Strong in the challenge was Perez. A little bit too overzealous is the ruling from the assistant referee on that far side. That's Rowan Fisher. Now a golden opportunity here for Mountain Magic from a dead ball situation. So Guerrero not going for the direct strike, instead went to Dib. Back it comes for Guerrero, somehow denied. Took a deflection and then off the head of Perez on the second attempt from Guerrero. Geez, that was unlucky for Geordie though. Korea was largely beaten and then cleared off the line.
Okay, stop, timeout.
And timeout is called here from UTS Northside. So the score 2-0. Very short break in commentary while these two teams recalibrate that opening session, but great entertainment so far at Valentine Sports Park for round 13 action of the Men's New South Wales Futsal Premier League. So back on court here, UTS in a great position. After the opening roughly 11 minutes of play, they lead 2-0. Mountain Magic yet to find anything in the back of the net. Had their best opportunity just before that timeout, which was called for by UTS. Now Faria, Amore, Paul Gibson. Amore. Finding a good pass here for Rosello. Tries to cut on the inside of Mountain Magic. 2-on-1 situation. And Kunas wins out. Guerrero, great skill to beat the first man, but a little bit too close to that sideline. Ball goes over. And a restart here for UTS. Faria unable to find support there, despite the lack of any real pressure. It's been a frustrating opening 11 minutes for Mountain Magic. They probably had the better of the territory, better of the chances, but getting something in the back of the net has proved difficult. And plays like that, especially between two futsal roos, very uncharacteristic. Amore, Rainbird. Now for Faria. Chipping over the top to a corner. It's been relatively low-risk futsal thus far from UTS. Happy to clear their lines many a time. Wait for the opportunity and then pounce upon it. Dib, quick release for Guerrero, under pressure, Rosello. Katambas came out quickly, now Dunn, under siege. Links up with Dib, lovely pass from Dib. Forward they march now with Kunis, good skill, got around a couple of them. Guerrero didn't quite get that one right, he was looking for Dunn. This came off the heel of the inside of the boot. Never struck it cleanly. Faria under pressure by Guerrero, as is Hor Gibson. And chipped over the top. Done. Dib. Now Guerrero. Quick release. Guerrero once more looking for an opportunity. Tried to link up with Dunn. Fast pass, then back through the middle. Still a chance here for Dib to keep it alive. Guerrero looking to thread the needle again. Just had no luck in those nearly situations, if you will. That was another one that certainly could have come up trumps for the home side. So Bakopoulos into the action again. Dib then unable to connect with Dunn. There just doesn't seem to be a great deal of communication at the moment from Mountain Magic. It's very quiet pitch side. As now Karim Morsi gets his first taste of the action. Back to Morsi now. Linking up with Lynch. Morsi trying to thread the needle, does so. Oh, Lynch then just trying to squeeze it around Katambas. Hit the uprights. Otherwise it would have been 3-0. And Rainbird got plenty of it, but not on target. Katambas over the top. Rainbird marking well. Morsi back to Faria, who then chips beautifully. Nearly found Morsi again. D'Souza back into the action and escaping his marker. Katambas goes long, but will find the netting. And the ball is trapped there as well. Rainbird, Morsi. Not a great release there from Morsi. Dib. Great little win there from Kunis. That one was called to be out of play. Now Rainbird quickly delivering for Lynch. Tries to go through the legs of Kunis. Takes off again. And Rainbird with a great slide tackle. Dominant challenge. Now Bakopoulos. Can't quite link up. Dib. Sending it wide. D'Souza. And they've done their homework here, UTS Northside. Very few chinks in the armour. His zone defence was effective against Mountain Magic a few weeks ago, proving to be the case here again. And then a very lazy pass from D'Souza. As a result, Perez can link up with Lynch, who nearly puts it in the back of the net. Steered away, though, from Katambas. Deep now for Morsey. Off the back of this corner, Morsey stepping on the inside. Good challenge from Kunis, and they'll win out and keep it in the field of play. Here is Kunis now. Golden opportunity. Faria stands tall. A great save, and that one goes for a corner. So 5:40 remaining in this first half. If they don't get one soon, you'd imagine the frustration will really start to mount for Mountain Magic. Dib. D'Souza. Back to Dib once again. Oh, D'Souza with a twist in the turn. Couldn't quite get it on that occasion. Dib. Bakopolos. Nothing doing there for Dib again. A dearth of opportunities. Very, very on display for Mountain Magic. Had a few chances, but few and far between. Certainly nothing in the past 4 or 5 minutes at least. Dib. As he was passing that, a shin pad came flying out of the sock, so Dib will put that back in. Dib, D'Souza. Now, Bakopolos. Nice little carry, then heading back to the middle. Faria handles it. And now tries to flick it through for Paul Gibson. And it did get a touch there on Jamie Dib, so UTS will once again come up with possession. So just over 4.5 to go. Amore. Rainbird. Rainbird links up with Hor Gibson. Rosello. Lovely little run here. Beats two of them. Now Bakopolos gets around Rosello himself. Oh, Dib, lovely leave. And now for Papadakis on target again. And Faria's come up with plenty of saves. It's been nothing particularly convincing, though, as now Rosello falls here for Hor Gibson. Again off the post. That's twice now. Could have easily been 4. Now Haddad. Out there for Mountain Magic. Sends it wide for Bakopolos. On target. Again, though, one that doesn't really trouble Faria. Hasn't been much conviction with the shots that have been on target thus far from Mountain Magic. And to date, I don't think Haddad's actually got a shot off. Rainbird. Chipping long now, looking for Paul Gibson. Unable to find him. So inside 4 minutes. Time running out in this first half for Mountain Magic to get something on the board. No panic stations as of yet. They've kept Katambas in between the posts. Now Haddad flicking back here for Papadakis. Has the shot deflected and away for a corner. Haddad. For Dibb, once again, scheming. Links up with Bakopoulos. Now Dibb finds a great ball here for Haddad. The chance for that twist, turn and shot. Unable to keep it in and away from Rainbird, who comes up with possession. Now Papadakis, quick release back to Bakopoulos. It was a good idea. Just lacked the execution though. And Julian Lamb gets his first taste of the action in this first half. Of course, the coach of their men's youth team. Now Lynch finds a beautiful pass. Oh, Gibson just couldn't get the final touch on it. Rosello delivered a peach of a pass to him. Geez, there's some real concerning signs here for Mountain Magic. Some of these defensive deficiencies, very uncharacteristic of the team that's been the best club this season by a reasonable margin. Guerrero now looking for Lamb, who was making the run but just didn't quite have the pace to connect with that pass from Guerrero. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Still 2-0 in favour of UTS. Faria sends it long, looking for Amore. Now Katambas flinging that forward. It hits the head of Julian Lamb. Now Rosello taking off with a bit of speed. Another test here for Katambas. Turns that one away. Perez is back out there now. Already has 2 goals to his name. And hitting the deck there was Guerrero. Play on the call. Now Perez not too far away from a first half hat-trick. Short here for Dibb. Links up with Julian Lamb. And again, the call is half court, so they've been very happy to play this zone defence. Prevent the opportunity for breakaways from Mountain Magic. Guerrero tries to link up. Now Rosello gets away from Lamb. Chance to link up here once again for Whaley. Good save from Katambas. Guerrero. Deep now for Dibb. Guerrero carting it forward. Haddad got the turn on them. Whaley did enough though. Haddad just asking the question. By far the strongest target man in the competition, but they've kept him under wraps so far. Corner to come though. Deep now for Dibb. Not a great delivery. Dibb does very well given the circumstances and gets all the way back to Katambas. Quick release now for Guerrero. Threads the needle for Dibb. Here's a golden chance now for Mountain Magic. Dibb just couldn't quite get the right pass for Lamb. Potentially if he had his time over there, Dibb, he might have actually taken the shot himself because Faria had come out of goals a touch. And now chips over the top looking for Perez. Dunn blocking the run. Now just a minute to go in this first half. Dibb, good first touch. Then links up with Dunn again. Dibb, Dunn on target. Faria knocking it away once again. And once more, it's a shot without any real conviction or power behind it, unfortunately. And the only ones they have really connected with have copped some sort of deflection in this first half, Mountain Magic. Haddad back for Guerrero. Dibb once again with 43 seconds remaining. No foul called on this occasion. Now Perez with a chance to make it a hat-trick. Katambas with a great save. Came out to meet it. So no timeout called here from Mountain Magic in this first half, which is surprising given the state of the game. On the plus side, I suppose, no panic stations as of yet for Nick Verdos and his men. Now Whaley trying to back into Guerrero, who wouldn't budge an inch. 30 seconds on the clock here. Dibb to carry up towards halfway. Done. Quick release. Back for Dibb. Now a good chance. Haddad up against Rainbird, who's also very strong. Given no free passage. And again, the attempted shot is blocked. Now Dibb. For Guerrero. Threatening, taking off. Back to the middle, looking for Dunn. Well cleared away from UTS. Final 10 seconds of this first half. If they could get something on the board just before the break, they might just renew the confidence, give them a bit of energy going into the second half. Guerrero trying to thread the needle. Dibb, final moments, has the shot. Blocked away. Now Lynch trying to link up with Perez. That one will head over the sideline. So final play coming up here for Mountain Magic. Dibb ushering Dunn forward. Chipping it towards the goal mouth. That one beating Faria. And Dibb and Lynch having a bit of a joke up front. A little bit of a cuddle. And that will bring an end to that first half. So entertaining stuff, and unfortunately for Mountain Magic, unable to get anything on the board in that opening 20 minutes. We'll take a short break here in round 13 action of the New South Wales Futsal Men's Premier League. It is UTS leading Mountain Magic 2-0. Welcome back to Valentine Sports Park. Round 13 action of the Futsal Premier League men's in New South Wales. And the minor premiers facing an uphill battle in this second half, down 2-0 to UTS, who are currently in 6th position on the ladder, but victory here could make them jump as high as 3rd. So underway now for the second half. And work to be done for the men in green. It's Bakopoulos. Little in and away before linking up with Dib. Now Haddad out wide. Guerrero pacing, looking for an opening. Bakopoulos nearly found a good pass there through the middle. Rainbird trying to thread the needle. Bakopoulos steps in the way of it. Now Hall Gibson taking off on this left-hand side. Dib with the long legs, knocking that ball away. Deep now for Rainbird. Whaley. Rainbird for Faria. Faria now carrying, looking to get the shot away, not too far off the mark. And Haddad coming across with an overzealous challenge. And the card will be produced here, the first of the match, against Anthony Haddad. And hasn't taken too long into this first half, less than a minute of play. So first foul of the second half. Amore and Hall Gibson standing over the top of this one. Hall Gibson, quick release for Rainbird on target. Somehow doesn't find the back of the net. Now Haddad receives it from Bakopoulos. So 2-0 it remains. Guerrero, Haddad. Rainbird has done a terrific job in nullifying Haddad throughout this game. Strong presence. We know that Haddad is essentially the strongest physical player in the Futsal Premier League men's in New South Wales. There's a couple of spectators currently inside the netting in the corner, so lead referee Andrew Best sorting that out before this corner is taken. So, still hovering around the inside of this netting. Much to the amusement of Andrew Best and also the UTS coaching staff. Now all clear though, so Dib can continue for Mountain Majik. Short for Haddad, who threatened the shot and ultimately couldn't provide a pass by the end of that. So that was a real wasted opportunity. It's not been a happy afternoon so far for Mountain Majik, and they were not particularly impressed that Faria had a second grab at that one. Now Guerrero carrying, will chip over the top, looking for Haddad. Guerrero now wins out in the challenge against Rainbird. Bakopoulos, and then Dib. Katambish chipping. And Haddad hits the deck. And Hall Gibson and Whaley combining there to bring Haddad to ground. They did so in an illegal manner. So now a great opportunity for Mountain Majik to finally get something in the back of the net and something on the board. Two big boots over this dead ball situation, Haddad and Guerrero. Faria stepping up into the wall. Rainbird covering Dib in the back post. Haddad with the strike. It was big. Not sure how much Faria knew about it, but he put his body in the right position. And that one is deflected away. Now Guerrero not too far off the mark. Faria sending it forward for Hall Gibson. Good first touch from Haddad now. Bakopoulos having the strike, claiming the corner, and will be awarded it. Guerrero, quick release for Haddad. Straightens and then Rainbird blocks the space. Well, he's been on Haddad like a rash, has Lucas Rainbird. Guerrero, now Dib. How can they break down this resolute defence? Bakopoulos now, cutting back on the inside. Once more, Amore comes up with the slide. Oh, and that's got to be yellow, you'd imagine, here for Hall Gibson, who was taken down by Bakopoulos, and he does indeed see the yellow. And that was a blatant foul. It's just good zone defence from UTS. They're just waiting for the opportunities to present themselves, and Mountain Magic certainly feeling as if they need to conjure something up. Haddad there having a little bit of fun with Rowan Fisher on that far side of the court. Lynch trying to link up with Rainbird. Hall Gibson with a big strong left foot. Clears that one away. Guerrero. Dunn back out there once again. Dib. Quick release back for Guerrero. Now Haddad. Through the centre of the court. Guerrero. Threatening. Great challenge from Hall Gibson, who can now start to carry. Links up wider still with Rosello. Well dealt with from Katambas. Deep here for Rainbird. Quick release. Lynch. Hall Gibson. Rainbird. Great work from Rosello up against Guerrero to maintain possession. It wasn't a bad ball there from Rainbird. Found the space, but just couldn't quite find Hall Gibson. Now done. Up over halfway. Trying to squeeze through. That one got a touch off Rosello. So now Dib momentarily dispossessed before heading back to Katambas. Chipped over the top here for Haddad. Hands in the back from Rainbird. Waved away, though, from the officials. And now Dunn making an incisive run. Lynch cutting the space well. And dispossessed. And then great skill from Rosello. Beats three of them. Links up with Reginald Hall Gibson. Not too far away. But what about the skill from Stefano Rosello? Now Dunn. Carting it forward. Haddad finds a good ball here for Guerrero. Guerrero trying to get the shot away again. Rainbird with this efficient slide tackle. Hasn't got any of them wrong so far. And Guerrero not happy with the ball. Must be a touch deflated. Of course, we've already lost one in the netting above the court. So this is now down to our third and final option. Guerrero threatening the touch shot there with Haddad. Rosello once more shuts down the space. No room for that shot from Guerrero. Dib. Out for Dunn. Perez back out there. Takes the intercept. Now Rosello beats Guerrero once again. Out for Perez, looking for three. Katambas with a nice sliding save. Rosello. Rainbird. Yet to see George Lethbridge out there. Having a chat with Lynch as he head to the sideline. It's a great save from Katambas to keep it in the field of play. And now Dunn can take off, but still in a 2-on-3 situation. So no support there for Dunn. Now wider still is Kunis. Haddad. Good release there for Dibb. Dibb still under pressure. Dunn with a little flick. Oh, lovely effort from Dibb, not too far away. For a moment I thought it had squeezed in between Faria and the post. Now Long there. Met by Haddad. Katambas for Dunn. Very hot conditions as well in Sydney's northwest. Haddad pressured by Lynch, who is so strong in the challenge. Comes up trumps. Now threads a lovely pass here for Rosello, who tries to find Amore. And then Kunis, fancy footwork, beat two, and now has a chance to run. Kunis, finally an opportunity, Dunn on target, but what a save from Faria. Now a chance for UTS to counter-attack. Again, Rosello burns them, linked up with Amore, and really they should have made that one count. And that could apply to both teams there. That's probably the best opportunity Mountain Magic have had. Katambas sending it long. Lynch easily deals with it. Rosello, who's been burning players for fun to start the second half. There's a great touch on him. Amore. Deep here for Lynch. Morsey, great first-time ball from Rosello under pressure and with the opposite foot. Makes a nice run. Links back up with Lynch. Oh, what a finish from Lynch. Did it go in? Well, the follow-up from Rosello somehow also misses. You won't see two closer opportunities in quick succession again. Well, that's incredible. How neither of those shots crossed the line. It's almost inconceivable, especially that first one from Lynch, who has now been denied twice by the post. 2-0 it remains. Could have easily been 5 for UTS. Dibb for Dunn, under pressure. Dispossessed. Morsey back towards the middle. Dibb. Sending it wide now for Katambas with a chance to carry. Can he get the shot away? The toe poke comes out. Dunn had opened up a passage on that left-hand side, but I don't mind that from Katambas. Something a little different just to try and break down this UTS Northside defence. Dunn then pressured by both Amore and Morsey. That should be play on. Kunis carts it forward. Chance to get a shot off. Back on the angle, but had he had his time over, he'd already opened up the space for D'Souza on that right-hand side. So the opportunities are there. They're just taking the wrong options, Mountain Magic. D'Souza. Not a great delivery. And as a result, Katambas is forced into action. Lovely pass from Katambas. Back to the middle from Dibb. Well, they've looked the most likely in this match on the two occasions Katambas has run. I think that's the blueprint. Whether it be Katambas who stays in goals or they come up with a replacement and opt as a travel keeper of sorts, getting that extra man certainly seems to worry UTS. It's now Guerrero. Works it again for Kunis. Takes Morsey down. Dunn. Quick footwork. Chance to send it wide for D'Souza. Can't come up with a finish. Amore instead slides in. That one crosses the byline. Corner to come. Guerrero. And then Kunis trying to curl that one around. Now Whaley off to Amore. Whaley once again. Found a bit of space, and then Kunis coming in for the challenge. And his attempts at getting possession back in terms of the vocal challenge waved away from the referee. Lovely delivery from Amore. Somehow not finished from Paul Gibson. Kunis will come back to the sideline, but for mine, he looks the most likely at the moment for Mountain Magic. It's something a little different. He's willing to take them on. There's been a real lack of individual efforts, if you will, so far from Mountain Magic. Working well as a team, but that operation hasn't broken down UTS. Kunis is offering a point of difference with some of his incisive runs. Amore now opening up a passage, not too far away either. And Katambas was left blindsided by that attempt. Had that been on target, I don't think he would have had a look at it. Katambas delivering long, but Rainbird steps in the way of that attempted throw. Papadakis back out there now as well for Mountain Magic. Gets the ball to his feet now. Back to Guerrero. D'Souza threading the needle for Papadakis. Back on the inside. The idea was good, execution a little lacking. Guerrero beats one, beats two. Now a chance on target. Well, Faria's been immense for them between the posts. Now D'Souza through the middle. Deflection. Oh, and then just inside the D from Faria to scoop that one back up. Finds a great pass. Now Hall Gibson. Oh, that's so calmly done. Cool and collected from Reginald Hall Gibson. He had plenty of work to do. He was under pressure by both Katambas and another defender coming across, and he didn't panic at any point. Took all the time in the world and slots it away beautifully. So 3 goals to nil, and Mountain Magic are in a bit of a dire situation here. So Hall Gibson on the board. Perez already has a double, and now he's the man who will replace Hall Gibson. Well, they need something, and they need it quickly. So there's still nearly 12 minutes remaining. But the way this game has gone, I think they need to be on the board within the next 2 or 3, just for a confidence boost here, Mountain Magic. Faria now heading up over halfway. D'Souza takes him to ground. I don't think this will result in a card. He was pressuring Faria, got it a little wrong. But I don't think there was anything untoward about the challenge per se. Certainly contact. So now Lynch sends it wide. Whaley on target. Katambas parrying. Now D'Souza tries to get around Whaley. Hasn't had a very happy afternoon so far, D'Souza. A couple of loose passes. Usually incisive running game has been nullified to a great effect, and now Papadakis trying to get a shot off. Nothing doing here for Mountain Magic in any department. Faria over the top. Guerrero got above the rest of the pack. Met it with the head beautifully. Now done. Papadakis. Guerrero trying to feed D'Souza. Now Lynch. Links up with Perez. Great footwork. Tries to get a shot away. Blocked And then easily picked off from Katambas inside the D. Dunn. Guerrero. Lynch. Waiting, watching, nothing really presenting itself for Guerrero. As a result, eventually sends it to Dunn. Tries to get the shot off. And again, it's a frustrating result for Mountain Magic. Rainbird looking for Lynch. So Dib and Haddad back into the action. Robson D'Souza departs. Guerrero now taking them on. Great slide tackle from Perez. It's been a very committed effort thus far from UTS. Rainbird and Perez in particular, some of those slide tackles have been exceptional. Now Guerrero under pressure here. Lynch stepping high. Guerrero will take him on around the outside. Oh, that's not a great challenge at all from Lynch. However, that's somehow been waved away. And the foul will now be called, but I'm not sure there was any advantage for Mountain Magic. Lynch called for the foul, but no card shown. You mentioned those slide tackles have been done correctly all game, but that one certainly wasn't. Now Rosello has caused all sorts of havoc since coming into the action. Probably been given more game time than he would be expecting in many ways based on how much he's had an impact on this one. As Guerrero takes off up over halfway. Now Bakopoulos again had the chance to just simply keep carrying it. Knocked it back to the middle when Haddad was marked by two men. Lynch. Out to Perez. Amore. Bakopoulos with a good challenge. Now Haddad can carry. Links up with Bakopoulos. Back towards the middle. Was that a handball off the fingertips of Perez? Waved away. Mountain Magic didn't make a claim for it either. Rainbird quick release. And a very clever pass there from Amore. Out to Lynch. Tries to thread the needle. Well controlled from Guerrero. Quick release for Haddad, who couldn't get enough on it. That was the best opportunity in the past 5 minutes for Mountain Magic. And with less than 9 minutes remaining, I wonder how long until they decide to remove Katambas and opt with a fifth man out in the field. Now Guerrero beating two of them, trying to thread it back to the middle, and then easily cleared away by UTS. Bakopoulos. Dib. Guerrero, quick release for Haddad, again heavily marked by Rainbird, who's had his measure all game. Now Whaley on this right-hand side, just couldn't quite get the angle. This man marking continues, so Amore simply a stopgap solution. Rainbird making sure that he's the man looking after Anthony Haddad, and it's worked a treat. Guerrero. Haddad this time gets some free passage. Links back up with Guerrero. Bakopoulos, Dib. Bakopoulos with a great ball there to Guerrero. Geordie just trying to thread the needle. UTS calling for a timeout. So that'll occur at the next possible stoppage of play. Again, Rainbird in with the slide tackle. Guerrero comes up with the ball. Oh, and then a strong challenge from Paul Gibson. Guerrero went flying out of the court. Now Dib, Guerrero and Haddad all out there, all big boots. Just under 8 minutes remaining. And at long last, McHugh Shaw, who can be a very potent weapon, finally gets onto the court for the first time this afternoon. Now Dibb. Out for McHugh. Shaw. His first touch is just wide. Otherwise, that would have been that breakthrough goal for Mountain Magic. The timeout is called here by UTS Northside, still in a comfortable position. 3-0 Mountain Magic. They'll need to come up with something during this little team talk. Some sort of change of strategy to get themselves back into the contest. A very short break in commentary and all the action picking up in just a moment. So picking up the action here at 3-0 in favour of UTS Northside with just over 7.5 minutes remaining. Rainbird chipping to the middle, falls only as far as Dibb. They shut down his chances very quickly. Now Guerrero trying to thread the needle. Dibb then finding Haddad, who does a great job to keep it in the field of play. Guerrero. Now Haddad up against Rainbird. And if it's a decision on points here, well, every single scorecard from the judges would be heavily favouring Rainbird. Bacopolos, Dibb, Guerrero gets that one wrong. Falls into the path of Whaley. Somehow keeps it in the field of play. Does a great job in the end. Now Paul Gibson sliding back to the middle. Links up with Whaley. Good turn. And that shot wasn't too far off. We look down on confidence at the moment. Mountain Magic. Kunis is back out there. I like that move from Nick Verdos. He's looked the most likely for mine. Giving Mountain Magic a point of difference. Guerrero. Now Haddad. Just can't get away from Rainbird. Smothering performance defensively from Rainbird. Whaley. That one never really challenging Katambas, but he couldn't help himself. Stuck the arm out. Got fingertips to it. And as a result, corner is called with about 6.5 minutes remaining. Amore chipping deep. Rainbird. Knocking deep for Faria. Rainbird then chipping, only as far as the netting. That one will go over the sideline now for a restart. Kunis. Dibb. Guerrero. Back for Dibb. Haddad through the middle now. Bouncing away from Rainbird, who recovers beautifully. Guerrero on this left-hand side. Trying to thread the needle. Finds a good ball here for Haddad. It was the first touch that left a little to be desired. Guerrero back to the middle. Kunis just couldn't get there in time. Then a challenge that took the ball and Guerrero. Guerrero was claiming it was purely himself who was taken. Now Dibb under pressure. Paul Gibson does a great job to block the run of Dibb. And Guerrero's going to earn himself a yellow card here for arguing the point with referee Andrew Best. So 3 players now into the book for Mountain Magic. Anthony Haddad, Nicholas Bacopolos, And, of course, Jordi Guerrero, the captain. It's been one of those afternoons thus far for Mountain Magic. And a yellow card on the sideline here as well. And now McHugh Shaw is in the book as well. So he said something on the sideline here on the bench. And 2 players into the book now for dissent, both Jet McHugh Shaw and Jordan Guerrero. So 3-0. 5:40 on the clock. And a dire situation for Mountain Magic. Dib knocking it forward, looking for Guerrero, who is trying to just flick it on for Haddad. Now Dib got a head to it. Lynch couldn't quite get his boot around the ball. Now Guerrero with a chance to carry. Knocks it to the middle for Haddad. Guerrero short for Haddad, not too far away. Jeez, that was close. And it did get a touch as well. Kunas quickly, Guerrero on target. Rainbird deflects it. Guerrero, great ball there for Haddad, and then Guerrero under pressure through the middle again. Well, Guerrero's got to be careful here. He can certainly discuss the situation, but he's already been pinged for dissent previously. I know he's the captain, but Andrew Best has put a line in the sand. He's not interested in having a debate. Haddad, however, gets the strike, and at long last, Mountain Magic begin their climb. Are they on their way back into this contest? Haddad with a great strike. Has been given no room to work with all afternoon. But finally, they have something in the back of the net and on the board. 3-1. Kunis pinged here. And it was more of a sigh of relief than it was of celebration for Mountain Magic. Lynch now taking off down the sideline. Links up with Rosello. Guerrero does a great job to keep that in the field of play. Now Haddad, again, monstered by Rainbird. I don't think I've seen a better defensive display up against Anthony Haddad than I've seen this afternoon from Lucas Rainbird, who's just given Haddad absolutely no time to do anything. Guerrero, now Haddad, Dib. Guerrero trying to step in the way of it. Rosello beats him brilliantly, sends it back to the middle. Dib got a very important touch. Now Kunis can carry, sends it wide for Guerrero. Cleverly worked with from Lynch. Rosello keeps it in the field of play. Haddad now strong in the challenge, works it away, links up with Kunis. Back towards Guerrero, on target, good save. Dib on the follow-up. Couldn't get his body over the top of the ball. Well, at least they've woken up, Mountain Magic. Faria sends it long. Now Guerrero simply knocking it behind his head. That was interesting. Faria with a chance to carry. Dib steps in the way of that pass. Paul Gibson does a great job to come up with possession. And now Whaley up against Kunis is beaten. Kunis beats another. Then to the middle for Dib. And they just couldn't find a finish. Dib knocked over afterwards. And there's a lot of discussion here from Guerrero. And the timeout has been called from Mountain Magic, so high drama, high emotion here for Mountain Magic. But they have awoken from their slumber, and they've got all the momentum at the moment. They have a chance to recalibrate with this timeout and try and push towards a second goal. If they could get one, they would certainly put themselves back into the contest. 3:44, there's more than enough time. And now Nick Verdos has received a yellow card, the coach himself. So cautions left, right and centre. So timeout has finished. Kunis, Guerrero, Haddad and Dibb all on deck for Mountain Magic. Guerrero trying to feed that pass into Haddad. Kunis wins the first challenge. Amore wins out on the second attempt. Amore. Whaley. Sending it back to the middle. Lynch met it quite well. And then Kunis was trying to make it play. The ball could have easily been caught for a foul on that occasion too. Now the question is, was that ball still moving? I think it was. So there is the turnover in favour of Mountain Magic. Of course, the ball must be at a complete stop when you are looking to restart it from the sideline. Dibb. And now Guerrero. Working forward. That one, fortunately for Guerrero. Deflecting off of Whaley. Guerrero trying to thread that needle once again. Now Rainbow with a delightful chip over the top. Whaley snuck away, gets it on target. Katambas will turn it around the post. Now Lynch, on target nearly. Almost found Amore. He had a clear passage toward that goal mouth. Dibb. Out for Dunn. Haddad wanting Jaden Dunn to take on Amore. Try and burn him on the outside. But really, it's only been Kunis who's actually been happy to take on their opposite. Now Haddad looking for the turn. Got a boot to it. Now he thought he was knocked in the back there. It does take a lot to get Haddad off balance. Now deep for Dibb. Dunn. Kunis. Haddad back here for Dunn. That was a nicer build-up from Mountain Magic, but Dunn unable to get that ball on target, a little too high. Lynch controlling it well under pressure. Very strong on the ball. Now Rainbird chipping to a corner again. Rosello, great job to keep that in the field of play and find support. Rosello once again taking on Dunn, threatening, great skill once more. Somehow gets a ball away to Lynch. Lynch then tries to thread the needle. Now Dunn with a chance to carry. Links up with Dibb. Dibb threatening for that cross. Keeps it in the court, but then easily worked away from Rosello. And Rainbird, in the end, had the final touch. Now Lynch chipping over the top for Amore. Nobody really marking up. Katambas, quick release, then Kunis On for Dib. Dunn into enemy territory. Now Haddad, this time holding it up quite nicely. Knocks it back. Doesn't quite meet Dib. He's forced to get on his bike to keep it in the court. Just 90 seconds remaining. They need to go quickly here. Haddad. And just miscommunication yet again here from Mountain Magic. This would be a big result for UTS. In theory, they could be as high as third with 3 points here. They're on 17 at the moment, and their goal difference is quite strong. Now Dunn. Dib. Back to the middle for Dunn. Got the shot away. Parried, and then the follow-up is a good one from Kunis. A killer strike into the corner. 3-2. Where there's life, there's hope. And there's just over a minute to try and snag a third consecutive draw for Mountain Magic. Guerrero's back into the action. Kunis has been removed. I would have been keeping him on there. I mentioned this before. To me, he's been the point of difference for Mountain Magic. Something a little different. Now Lynch. Ever so strong. Holding Dib off. Guerrero presents as an option. Now they're going to throw everything at them. Maybe the kitchen sink as well. Guerrero chipping, looking for Haddad. Awkward control. Rainbird then pressured. Guerrero made the challenge. Ball goes over the sideline. 45 seconds to go. And for UTS, it might be the longest 45 seconds of all time. So much riding on it. Perez squeezes a pass for Lynch. Lynch then across the face of goal. Katambas cleans it up and takes off. Needs to find a pass. Perez with a great slide defence. Now done. Dib. Guerrero. 30 seconds on the clock. Haddad can't get a foot to it. That could be crucial. Dib heading it forward, unfortunately hits the netting. Deep here for Rainbow. They're simply trying to run the clock down. Headed over the top. Dunn trying to squeeze through. Perez very strong. Blocks the space. Falls here for Rainbird. Dib gets a touch on it. Just over 10 seconds remaining. Now Lynch trying to hold firm. Guerrero comes up with possession. Now Haddad up against Rainbird. Surely dragged down. And this will go the way of Mountain Magic. There was a huge grab from Lucas Rainbird on Haddad, and they will get a golden opportunity now. So D'Souza enters the action for this crucial set piece with exactly 5 seconds to go. Guerrero and Haddad over this one. This could be the final play of the game. Dib and D'Souza wide. It hasn't been a happy afternoon for D'Souza. But if he could conjure up something inside this final 5 seconds, it would make him have a very different outlook on this afternoon. So Haddad lining this one up. One of the biggest boots in the Futsal Men's Premier League. Haddad with the strike, keeps it low. Back over the sideline it goes. 3 seconds remaining. Do they think the touch and shot again? Guerrero will send it wide. For Katambas, feeds the pass, cleared away, and UTS come up with a massive result. The team in 6th beats the minor premiers for just the second time this season, and in the process puts themselves with a great chance to play finals football this year. In theory, they've jumped as high as third now on the ladder. That depends on other results, but they are well and truly in the hunt for finals. Full time here in the Futsal New South Wales Men's Premier League. It's UTS Northside victorious over Mountain Majik, 3-2. Our Women's Premier League is up next.
Did you put Daisy down as well?
Not anymore. I've given up.
It's crazy.
Exactly where it can be.